The Galactic Combat Institute had never admitted a human before Alexa Chen arrived on Xanthera Prime. The instructors whispered among themselves in languages she couldn't understand, their multi-jointed appendages gesturing dismissively whenever she passed. They didn't believe humans belonged among warriors. Miguel Santos, her only human companion at the Institute, watched from the observation deck as Alexa stepped into the combat assessment chamber. His fingers drummed nervously against the reinforced glass. They'd traveled 6 months through deep space together, enduring ridicule and isolation, clinging to Earth's stubborn dream of proving humanity's worth among the stars. "She's going to get herself killed," muttered Vex Thor, a 4-armed Krillian instructor whose species had dominated galactic combat sports for 3 centuries. His mandibles clicked with amusement as he activated the chamber's security protocols. The scanner hummed to life, bathing Alexa in blue light. Her vital signs appeared on the holographic display: heart rate elevated but steady, adrenaline present but controlled, muscle tension optimal. The AI analyzed her biological composition with cold efficiency. "Human female, unmodified," the computer announced. "Bone density, inferior. Muscle fiber composition, standard type 2A and IIB, unremarkable. Reaction time, 190 milliseconds, adequate. Threat assessment, minimal." The scanner locked the room next, sealing Alexa inside with Vex Thor. Standard protocol for live combat evaluation. Miguel's breath caught. He pressed against the glass. "That's not fair. Vex Thor has quadruple her strength and twice her reach." The other observers ignored him. To them, this was entertainment, watching the soft-skinned human learn her place. Inside the chamber, Vex Thor drew his practice blade, a meter-long weapon designed to deliver incapacitating shocks rather than fatal wounds. Still, Miguel had seen students hospitalized for weeks after training sessions. The Krillian's 4 arms moved in a hypnotic pattern, each limb wielding the blade with practiced precision. "Your species fascinates me," Vex Thor said, circling Alexa. "So fragile, yet so arrogant. You come here believing yourselves equals to races that mastered warfare before your ancestors crawled from the oceans." Alexa said nothing. She stood perfectly still, empty-handed, watching. "The scanner has already determined your limitations," the instructor continued. "Inferior bone structure, slow reflexes, weak cardiovascular system. Tell me, human, what made you think you could survive here?" Miguel had heard this speech before, or variations of it. Every instructor at the Institute delivered the same lecture. Humans were too soft, too slow, too breakable. He'd started to believe it himself during the sleepless nights aboard their transport ship, questioning whether Earth's government had sent them on a fool's errand. But Alexa had always smiled and said, "They're measuring the wrong things." Vex Thor struck without warning, all 4 arms moving in coordinated assault. The practice blades sang through the air, a killing pattern designed to overwhelm any defense. Miguel flinched, unable to watch, yet unable to look away. Alexa moved. She didn't dodge or block. She flowed. Her body became liquid, slipping through the gaps in Vex Thor's attack like water through fingers. The instructor's superior reach meant nothing when she operated inside his guard, too close for his long arms to adjust. Her hand snapped up, fingers closing around Vex Thor's primary wrist. The instructor tried to pull away, confident in his species' superior strength, but Alexa wasn't trying to overpower him. She used his own momentum, redirecting his force with minimal effort. Her foot hooked behind his leg, a twist of her hips, and suddenly Vexithor was airborne. He crashed to the floor, all 4 arms splayed out. 3 of his practice blades clattered across the chamber. Before he could recover, Alexa had disarmed him mid-swing, plucking the final weapon from his grip with surgical precision. She stood over him, the practice blade held loosely in her hand, its tip resting gently against his throat. Her breathing was barely elevated. "Still want a lesson?" she asked. The observation deck fell silent. Miguel's heart hammered against his ribs, a mixture of pride and disbelief flooding through him. Around him, the alien instructors stared with expressions ranging from shock to outrage. Vexthor's mandibles trembled. Impossible. The scanner, your physical parameters. We're accurate, Alexa said, helping him to his feet with unexpected courtesy. Humans are weaker than Krillians. Our bones break easier. Our reflexes are slower. She handed him back his weapon. But your scanner measured bodies. It didn't measure minds. She walked to the center of the chamber, addressing not just Vexthor, but all the observers beyond the glass. My species evolved on a death world. We didn't develop armored hides or poisonous claws. We survived because we learned to think, to adapt, to use everything around us as a tool, including our opponent's strength. Miguel watched Vexthor's expression shift from humiliation to something resembling respect. The Krillian instructor's combat prowess was legendary, yet this human had neutralized him in seconds, using techniques his scanners couldn't quantify. Humans call it judo, jiu-jitsu, aikido, Alexa continued. 1,000 different arts born from a simple truth. In combat, physics matters more than muscle. Leverage beats strength. Timing beats speed. Understanding beats enhancement. She turned back to Vexthor. Your species has been stronger than everyone you've fought for 3 centuries. You've never needed to be clever. We've never had the luxury of being strong, so we became something else instead. The instructor regarded her for a long moment, his 4 arms hanging at his sides. Then, slowly, he bowed, a gesture of respect reserved for acknowledged masters. Perhaps, Vexthor said quietly, the scanner was measuring the wrong things after all. Miguel grinned, watching the other instructors whisper among themselves with new appreciation. The chamber doors unsealed, and Alexa emerged to find him waiting. Told you they were measuring wrong, she said. He laughed, the tension draining from his shoulders. Earth's going to love this. Let them, Alexa replied. But tomorrow, we show them what humans can really do when we work together. As they walked through the Institute's corridors, Miguel noticed the change immediately. The other students no longer looked through them. The instructors nodded as they passed. Humanity had arrived among the stars not with superior strength or speed, but with something far more dangerous: the accumulated wisdom of a species that had spent millennia learning to overcome its own fragility. The galaxy would never see humans the same way again.